Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Frida Tate. In today's video, we are reacting to the video that I recently saw on TikTok. This is by a creator called Tasha Gray. I love that creator. This is a reason why I follow her on TikTok. But this particular video that I'm talking about, I don't know. I thought that this video was a little bit over the top. What I'm gonna do is I am going to play this video so that you see it for yourself and you be the judges for yourself. Let's see the video clip and we are going to talk about it.
When an employer says, tell me about an obstacle that you faced and what you did to overcome it. You could tell the truth or you could just lie. Just lie. There's no way for them to verify the story at all. All you have to do, number one, the obstacle that you name, you better make sure it's a juicy one. Make sure it's a very interesting obstacle. Number two, speak clearly. Don't stumble. You need to know the words that you are going to speak before you speak them.
There you have it, guys. Now let's talk about it. I really think that this kind of advice is so wrong on all the levels because I'm going to talk about a few things why I think this video is so wrong. Let me tell you something, guys. Life is a boomerang. Whatever you are putting in, whatever you are doing, whether good or bad, it will return to you. Even when you least expect it, it will return to you. And so I think this advice, you can give this advice to anybody because even the kids are watching you. What would you say to the kid that's watching you? That it's okay to lie? I don't think so. A classic example that I'm going to give you. I know in this world we feel like, oh, it's a big world. If I lie, so what? Nobody's going to find out. But in terms of morals, this world is small. And then, like I said, when you least expect it, it can come back to haunt you. I'm going to give you an example. Perhaps this is not a classic example of lying, but I am going to give an example of what I mean when I say the world is small. I know physically the world is big. It's a big place, right? It's got how many people in the world? So many people. However, when, there's just something that happens and then you stop and think and say, this world is small. I had a recent example. Again, this is not an example of someone who lied or whatever. As a matter of fact, this is something nice that happened. I had recently moved from Zambia, Africa, to Canada, and it was because of the health condition that I have. And so, like back in Africa, I was seeing this doctor, and this is an American doctor who was working at Johns Hopkins and then decided to go and offer her services back in Africa. And so, yeah, I was seeing this doctor. She's a specialist. She's a neurologist. And so when I moved to Canada, the notes that she had written up, I got them, I brought them, and because all the history, the information, I thought that my new doctor would be interested in seeing whatever was said by my old doctor, right? And so fast forward, I did find a neurologist here, and then I met her, we started talking, started asking me all these questions and blah, blah, blah. So I was, giving the information, all my history and stuff like that. Then at some point, I was like, oh, you know what? I was actually seeing a neurologist back home, and whatever she wrote up, she gave me those notes, so that, I guess, I could share with my new doctor. And so when she's like, oh, okay, sure, I'm interested. And so she got my notes from my old doctor, and then she looked and she was like, you kidding me? Because she looked at the name of my doctor and she's like, I know this person. I knew this doctor. Because when she worked at Johns Hopkins in the US, I was studying, or I was working at Mayo Clinic in the US. So we, because they were in the same fraternity, so they knew each other. Do you see my point here? This is a person that is working here in Canada because she's Canadian, and this is an American doctor who is now working in Africa, and somehow we got connected and all that. So this is what I mean when I say these worlds may be big physically, but there's just something that makes it a small world. In terms of networking, it's a small world. Therefore, you don't want to lie. First of all, it's morally wrong. Second of all, it's a small world such that you may run into a person that perhaps you work for, and then somehow you start talking about the the obstacles that you say you faced, and you overcame that obstacle, and then it turns that it's actually not true, right? So you just want to tell the truth all the way, because the truth is just easier, and then you don't have to worry about anybody finding out anything bad about you. And number 2 point, and that actually should have been number 1, because there is always one person that's always watching you. He sees every step of the way. You may do things in the dark, you may do things in secret. You think that, oh, nobody ever saw you. You are lying to yourself, because there's always someone that's there and they're watching you. And this person is God, and God is the revealer of secrets. So somehow this thing might even come to light because is the revealer of secrets. And number 3 thing that I want to talk about, how is your conscience? Knowing that you got that job through lying. How is your conscience? I don't think that I would live with myself knowing that the only reason I got that job is because I lied. Always remember that as human beings, I don't know, what's with us. We don't keep secrets. We always think that, oh, I'm going to tell 1 or 2 people, and then it's just you tell them, oh, this is a secret, don't tell anybody. Trust me, they also have other people that they trust, and they are going to tell them the same story, the same narrative that you told them, that don't tell people, it's a secret. And that person that told me the story, my friend, she told me in confidence. So what have you created there? I guess you are now creating a chain, because you tell one person, and that person is going to tell one person, and trust me, that one person is also going to tell another person, tell them the same thing. Oh, don't tell, because this is a secret. In that line, that person, you are actually losing trust, because that's, all those people now are finding out that you actually got that job because you lied. Had you not lied, you couldn't have gotten the job. You wouldn't have gotten the job. And so this is the reason why it's just easier and better to tell the truth in the first place, because if your boss ever found out that you lied after all, I don't know, I think that they will never ever trust you. So in order to protect your reputation and your trust, you are better off telling the truth, even if your story is not as fancy, as as furnished as you would like to be, or you think people would like to hear this fancy story, such that they look at you and you're like, oh, she's the one that did that, and that was so fancy, that was so smart, that was no. Just tell the truth, even if it's not as furnished as you would like it to be. But if you tell the truth, you've got a free mind, you are walking freely, you are not scared that someone may find out the truth and you'll be looked at somebody that lied in the job interview. I really hope that this video was interesting to you, and if you found this video interesting, please go ahead and do subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that each time we upload a brand new video, you are notified. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye now.